All right, you guys. So TTV Network, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys check all the links, man. I'm gonna pin a link to this article at the top of the comment section so you guys can check it out. I appreciate everybody who supports what we got going on. Also, I'm gonna put other links that y'all see as well. If you guys want to donate support to the channel, subscribe to our podcast, or get the free subscription to our website, ticketvmedia.com/members. Y'all can go over there as well. I'll put those links, I'll pin them in the top of the comments, or I'll put them in the description box as well. But let's talk about this. DL Hughley comes out in the aftermath of Sean Diddy Combs being acquitted on some of the main charges that the feds brought against him. He basically came out and went off. Now, according to reports, on July the 8th, 2025, comedian and radio host DL Hughley made headlines with a scathing critique of the public celebrations following Sean Diddy Combs' partial acquittal in his high-profile federal trial. Now, speaking on TMZ Live, DL Hughley called the celebratory reactions marked by supporters dancing and pouring baby oil outside of the Manhattan courthouse morally bankrupt, arguing that while justice may have been served in the legal sense, the trial exposed undeniable evidence of Combs' troubling behavior. The July 2nd verdict, which cleared Combs of racketeering and sex trafficking charges but convicted him on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution, has sparked polarized reactions, with DL Hughley's comments highlighting the ethical complexities in celebrating a flawed victory. Now, after a 7-week trial in a Manhattan federal court, the jury of 8 men and 4 women acquitted Combs, 55 years old, of the most serious charges: racketeering, conspiracy, and 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion on July 2nd, 2025. However, he was found guilty of 2 lesser counts of transportation to engage in prostitution tied to ex-girlfriends Cassie Ventura and an unnamed accuser, Jane Doe. These Mann Act violations carry a maximum of 10 years per count, with prosecutors reportedly seeking 4 to 5 years sentence. Judge Aaron Submaranian denied Diddy bail, citing his propensity for violence, and he remains at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center until his sentencing on October 3rd, 2025. The verdict prompted a raucous response outside the courthouse, where supporters chanted "Let Puffy Go" and played Combs' son's King Combs track "Diddy Free" featuring Kanye West. Some doused themselves with baby oil, referencing trial testimony about its use in Combs' alleged freak-offs, drug-fueled sex performances. Influencers like YouTuber Armand Wiggins, who apologized for participating in the celebrations, and celebrities like Tiny Harris and Boosie Badass took to social media to hail the outcome as a victory, framing it as Combs beating the system. Now, DL Hughley, known for his unfiltered commentary on the DL Hughley Show, did not mince words in condemning these reactions. He said, "I think there are people who are morally bankrupt," he told TMZ Live, describing the baby oil displays as a horrible look. He argued that while Combs may have been overcharged with racketeering and sex trafficking charges he believes were amplified due to Combs' race, the trial revealed undeniable evidence of wrongdoing, particularly domestic violence. Even if Puffy wasn't convicted of most serious crimes, he still whooped a woman in front of everybody, Hughley said, referencing the 2016 hotel surveillance footage showing Diddy assault Cassie Ventura. Now, Hughley emphasized that the federal charges focus on RICO and trafficking, not domestic abuse, which limited the scope of prosecution. They didn't charge him for domestic abuse. They charged him for all of those terms that they just couldn't prove, he said, noting that Judge Submaranian struggled to buy the government's case. Yet he insisted that celebrating the acquittal on major charges ignores an immoral conduct exposed, right? Including testimony about Diddy's coercive freak-offs and violent behavior. "I can root for a man to get justice. That's different than celebrating his verdict. They're 2 different things," Hughley added, drawing comparison to the divisive public reaction to O.J. Simpson's 1995 acquittal, right? And it says Hughley went on. He acknowledged the racial component to the case, suggesting that Diddy was targeted with overly ambitious charges, probably because he's a black man. "There's no denying that," he said, pointing to the prosecution's reliance on vague, hard-to-prove RICO and trafficking counts. He argued that Combs' wealth and legal firepower, led by attorneys Mark Anglifo and Tierney Guerreros secured an acquittal on major charges, a luxury not afforded to defendants with public defenders. Money will buy a great defense, Hughley noted. However, he cautioned against turning the verdict into a celebratory spectacle, calling it a distraction disguised as justice. The trial's evidence, including testimony from 34 prosecution witnesses like Cassie and Don Richard of Danity Kane, painted a grim picture of Combs' behavior. Witnesses described intimidation, drug use, coerced sexual acts, with a security guard alleging a rejected bribe attempt and a sex worker claiming blackmail via photograph identification. Hughley's remarks echo sentiments from critics like Lisa Bloom, who called the verdict a gut punch, akin to Simpson's acquittal, and Cassie's lawyer Doug Wigder, who noted that while the beyond a reasonable doubt standard was unmet for trafficking, Combs was still held accountable on lesser charges, right? And so, basically, the celebrations drew sharp criticism beyond D.L. Hughley on X. Users expressed mixed sentiments. Some like the Shade Room and Vibe magazine amplified D.L. Hughley's critique, while others like D-Rock Trot shared his TMZ Live interview to highlight his stance. Post on Reddit's pop culture chat condemned the inhumane memes targeting Cassie, with users praising her bravery for testifying despite alleged threats. Right now, media outlets like Vulture argue that Combs' partial acquittal should not erase the trial's revelations, noting that his music, unlike R. Kelly's, after similar allegations, remains in mainstream rotation due to the nostalgia for the bad boy era. Right? Listen, man. This is what I have to say. All right, the article goes on. You guys can go read the whole article. It's a great article, man. I'm going to pin the link at the top of the comment section so you guys can check out the entire article. Look, y'all, here's the thing, man. DL's right, bro. Bro, this man is a piece of shit. Diddy is a piece of trash, and people are celebrating this dude. This is the world we live in, man, where they celebrate absolute garbage like Sean Diddy Combs. He is garbage. Point blank, period. There ain't no other way around it. There ain't no other way to slice, dice, or cut it. He is garbage. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Link to the article and all the other links pinned at the top of the comments. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website. TicketTVmedia.com. You go over there, you can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drought weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.